Alright folks, out again. Beautiful snowy day. I have Loki with me and we're out to do a hike and cook in the woods. So I'm gonna hike up to a spot I've been before, done a number of my hike and cooks at. And well, you'll see from the title what we're having. We're gonna have like a shepherd's pie, cottage pie type thing, and we'll see how that works. I've been wanting to do this one for a while. So let's get moving. So yeah, it's February 2026, super light snow year. As you can see, the trail super packed down. No need for snowshoes or gaiters or anything. I mean, even if I step off the path, did you get that? There's like, 2 inches of snow or something. So we'll hike up a little further here, walk down into the snow, in the little valley near the creeks. And we're gonna start a fire and we'll get cooking. It's about, I think it's like 44, 45, mid 40s, partly sunny, beautiful day, perfect Colorado snow winter hiking day. Minus the really lack of snow. I mean, you can see these places, it's like not even fully covered. Alright, hopped off the path, walking through these dense pine trees here and trying to find the spot. I think this is the right exit point from the trail, but I've come down here a number of times, not been able to find the same spot. So downhill, rocks, trees to tumble on, so try to be a little careful while filming, but pretty sure little Loki's bouncing like a bunny. Alright, here it is. I'll have to dig out the snow ring there a little bit, but you see there's kind of sitting logs here. It's actually a little bit deeper here, maybe 4 or 5 inches in this beautiful, right in the sun, beautiful clearing. So let's start getting stuff set up. I have to gather some wood, find some downed trees that hopefully aren't, or dead trees that aren't super wet. We'll get a fire going in the pit. Piece of fat wood. Alright guys, we're going to make shepherd's pie, also known as cottage pie. I believe shepherd's pie is with lamb, cottage pie is with beef, and I'm using buffalo because I'm in Colorado. So I don't know, maybe don't want to culturally appropriate, but TP pie, or it's shepherd's pie. All right. So what's in shepherd's pie? First, we got to get this water boiling to boil the potatoes. So I've got a handful of potatoes from Idaho. So the potatoes, then onions, celery, and carrots. Might have gotten too many carrots. Alright, there's our trash bag. So, let's get this onion cut up, because while the potatoes are boiling, I'm going to cook the onions, garlic, pepper. Oh, garlic. Did I say garlic? There's a garlic clove in there somewhere. So, a lot of times you'll do like a pretty finer chop, but since this is a little more rustic, I'm going to do a little bit rustic, a little more rough chop. Alright, that's probably enough onion. And yeah, like I said, I probably overdid it on the carrots, but celery we'll get in smaller slices, but still rustic style. No julienning. We're in the woods, guys. Let's put that in here for now. Fire. Alright, oh my gosh, guys, getting the logs, cutting the logs, a lot of effort. They say you warm yourself 3 times with a fire: collecting the wood, cutting the wood, and then burning the wood. That is absolutely true. That's a lot of work. I don't know, people that like live on farms and do that to heat their house, that's some strong, that's how you get strong farm boys. Alright, I'm just getting lazier and lazier with my cutting. Well, probably a couple more. Do you want a carrot? Loki doesn't really like vegetables. You want a carrot? You can have some. Alright, one more carrot. Yeah, that's good. All that stuff's going to, we're going to cook it and soften it up. So, what else do we have? Oh, this was leaking a little bit. Alright, spices, just salt, pepper, and thyme. Got a bouillon cube that I'll probably just throw part of in there. You can use red wine. I'm going to use the Guinness. You can use water too. Got some flour to thicken things up as well. Okay, you guys are like, hey, but don't you bake shepherd's pie? Yes, we do. We've got a baking tin. We're going to bake it. I'll show you how we're going to do that when we get to it. Don't worry. It's going to be legit. Alright. Let's cut up this garlic clove. Garlic very rough chopped. Alright, so in here we have olive oil. I'm going to try and just pour the olive oil first because it rises to the top there. And we have Worcestershire sauce and what else would be in there? Oh, a little apple cider vinegar. No, red wine vinegar. A little red wine vinegar. Okay, let's see how this water is doing. We want to get those potatoes in. Are they boiling yet? Yeah, it's boiling. All right. So let's throw these potatoes in. I don't know if we'll need them all, but I'll throw them all in. Basically, I want to soften the potatoes and then to make a mash. So that needs like 15 minutes or so. Okay, 15 minutes to boil, so let's set a timer. Come on, Siri, it's a timer, you can work. You don't need internet. Alright, let's get the other stuff going. Let's get the kind of filling gravy stuff going. So I was lazy with the logs. I got like hopefully just enough. I'll take a few of these logs down here and get a base to cook on. All right. Let's get a little bit of the olive oil, trying just to get the olive oil out. Pretty good. I'll put the rest in with the meat. So, let's get this stuff just covered in the oil. You know what? I'm going to throw a little extra butter in there, just because I have this whole thing of butter that I don't need. And everything's better with butter. Alright. Oh, you're supposed to use like tomato paste. The little cans of tomato paste, I didn't bring any with me, so I stopped at the grocery store. They all require a can opener. I don't have a can opener with me, or I probably do somewhere in all of this shit that I bring out here, but I didn't know if I had a can opener. So what I'm going to do is just smash up that, cut up, and smash up that tomato. Again, we're rustic style, guys. We're in the woods. So, I'm going to rusticify it. Onions are looking good already. Alright, that's looking good, so I'm going to add the rest of the veg in to get that stuff to soften up nicely. Get that all coated in the butter and the oil. Okay. Good. Got the veggies softening up. What I was hoping to get at the grocery store was like, you know, sometimes they sell like a hamburger patty just from the like actually behind the deli counter part. Just get one of those, but they didn't have any. So I have a whole giant pack of bison. So what I will do is cook up, like, I need like a quarter of it for this meal. Maybe I'll cook up quarter of it and then cook some up for Loki. Alright, let's make sure we've got logs coming. Let's see how the carrots are. Get a big chunk. Still needs some softening. Make sure I keep the fire going here. All right, I think we're good. I'm gonna put some more butter in just to keep it from getting too dried out. And I'll go ahead and throw the buffalo in, the bison. American buffalo is really bison is the proper name. Buffalo is like water buffalo, but it's also called American bison. So let's drop about, I don't know, half of it in there. Ooh, that's a lot. Well, we'll drop that much in there. Put the rest of this on ice. And then when all the spices and stuff are gone, I can cook the rest up for Loki. Buffalo's pretty low fat meat. So you do need a fat when you're in there when you're cooking it. Unless you're going for like a oil or something in there. Let me just chop it up, get it good and chopped. Okay, it's not too much. It's going to cook down with these veggies. I don't know if it'll fit in my baking tray, so have to see how that goes. Make sure. Alright. Let's get that cooking. There's no up and down on the temperature knob out here in the woods, so you just go by feel. Alright, where are we on the potatoes? Oh, 1 minute left, so those are running ahead of schedule. Okay, still going. All right, the potatoes, says the potatoes should be done. It's been 15 minutes. Let's give them a check. So, knife just kind of, you see that? Goes in super easy. So yeah, I'm gonna give them another couple minutes, but they're done. I actually didn't read what I was supposed to do with those. I don't know how I'm gonna kind of mash them up. In the shepherd's pie, you want your kind of beef pretty ground up and in small, little, like really ground up, good, not big chunks. But again, we're in the woods, so this is going to be a little bit different. All right, that's looking good. So the beef is, I would say, done. So now what we want to do is gravyify that. So let's get the spices on. Let's get the spices on. Salt, pepper, thyme. Let's put the olive oil and Worcestershire sauce. Shoot, forgot to cut up this tomato all smashed up, so let's do that. Let's get this tomato mashed up. We'll take off the ends and we'll cut it and 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 cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it. Throw it in here and give it some more mashing. Until it's as close as we can get it to tomato paste. Just smashing it. Try to get the peel, the skins kind of broken down. But I have a feeling we're going to get some chunks of skin. That's not bad. And like I said, we're in the woods, so we do woods quality. Let's crack that Guinness. Oh, get that to wash out the rest of the tomato. I'm gonna let it cool down while I'm putting all this stuff in. All right, where's the flour? Put the flour in there. For thickening. And some more Guinness. All right. You still going? All right, let's look in there. And then, whoa, shit. So we want the flour to thicken it up. So, because we want this to be like kind of a gravy consistency, and it's still like fairly watery. I'll put some more flour to throw in there. Probably put plenty of Guinness, enough Guinness in there. I'll put all that flour in. And then we'll just let it kind of like soften, cook up. Yeah, it's already, okay, I could use a little more Guinness now because it's already very gravy-like with the amount of, see that? Ooh, that looks delicious. Let's try a little. I'm just gonna make sure it's good. I'm going to use water. The Guinness is probably a little too much. Okay. All right. Let's see if I can find a cooler spot. All right, let's grab the potatoes so we can start prepping those. And then this is there, that's a little bit cooler spot. Up a little higher here. What are we going to do with the potatoes? That's really cooking. Let me just kind of set it to the side there. All right. Potatoes. Guys, I've got like a mess. Oh no, I forgot something. Need to throw the half a bouillon in there. Is that gonna work? Bouillons are usually supposed to like boil in water. I know what I'll do. All right, let's get these potatoes. All right, got the potatoes. I'm gonna put the bouillon in the potato water and see if that kind of turns into the bouillon stuff. How are we doing? All right. I'm gonna try and smash the potatoes in my camp pot. So, actually, let me. Can you see this? All right. Let's do this. Cut the potatoes. Throw them in. Cut, cut, cut. So, cut, cut, cut. Yeah, they're super soft. But not too soft. You ever have those mushy potatoes? That sucks. Okay. That looks like a lot. Maybe Loki will want this potato. Alright. Potatoes are all in here. Let's smash them up. And add a little butter to them. A little bit of butter. That's like decently smashed. Again. Oops. Alright, those are decently smashed. I'll put them by the warmer here. Alright, how's our... hot! Alright. Just had to change the battery in the camera. I put some of that beef stock in here just to... and we'll let this thicken up once more. It's already pretty much there. Alright. Yeah, it's nice and thick. Okay. Guys. Now, all has to come together now. Whew, this is my most complex one by far. Baking dish. Baking pan. Okay, you get ready. Now, we're going to take this stuff. Where can I do this? Try not to make a mess. There we go. All right. Try to gently pour this into the baking dish. Okay, that looks good. That looks like the right amount. And then the mashed potatoes go on top. You want them to like fully cover the meat so as it bakes, the moisture doesn't like steam off. It goes into the mashed potatoes. All right, let's try and do so. You know what? Let's put this extra butter on top. Boom. All right. You see? All right. Now what are you going to do? How are you going to bake that? Where's your oven? Is there an oven out here? There's no oven out here. We use this as the oven. So, turn it sideways, slide in the baking pan, put on the lid, made it fit, lock it up, and then we put it kind of like make a spot. I like maybe a log on one side, coals on the bottom, a log it's on fire on the other side. Build up around it, and it should bake in there, right? All right, and there guys, is your bushcraft oven. Bushcraft oven. All right, let's get some stuff cleaned off a little bit, and then we'll give, I don't know how long that was supposed to cook, because I don't have the, we'll give it like 10 minutes and check it out. All right. We'll wash off some of the stuff in the snow. Okay guys, it's been 10 minutes in the bushfire degrees oven. Who knows what temperature it's been baking at. But let's take a look. Let's see what it looks like. All right, need my gloves for this for sure. It definitely bubbled over a little bit, but that looks good, right? That looks done. I think that looks done. Okay. I'm gonna eat the heck out of that. Let's set it by the fire to keep warm. Put this lid on it. Alright, I'm going to go down, fill this with water, down to the creek, fill this with water, warm it up so I have some kind of hot, clean it up water. I'll be right back. So, this is ice right here. I'm walking on, hopefully it's sturdy. And then there's not ice there. Okay, you still going? All right. I'll just get this water boiling up again. I don't really need the fire for warmth, so we'll just let it do its thing, die down. All right. That was a lot of work, guys. This thing's gonna be hot, right? To hold it with this. All right. Take a look. Hopefully the GoPro. Is the GoPro still on? You still running? Never know if you're still running. Let's check it out. The first bite. We want the potato and the stuff underneath. It looks hot. Let me give it a minute. It's good. Probably needs a little more salt. Very tasty. I would say it called for red wine or water for the liquid. I'm like, you gotta put Guinness in, but I would say that was the wrong move. I don't know, the Guinness just, you wouldn't think it would impart so much of a flavor, but it does. So Guinness and stew, but not this, and a little more salt. But otherwise, delicious. Everything's cooked perfectly, like nothing soggy, nasty. There's still a tiny bit of crunch in the carrots in there, which I like. All right, and let's get Loki his meal, if it's cooled down yet. Let's see. Yes. This is what Loki gets. I shoved a little potato in there. Some buffalo and some potato. All right, let's see if he eats it. All right, Loki. This is for you. Come on, bud. Come on, right here. Num 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 num. Okay. Is that good? Did you get a potato? Are you gonna eat around the potato? You might eat potato. It's a starch. He likes carbs. He likes breads and cheeses and crackers that we drop. He doesn't get a lot of human food, so just a little bit. And yeah, so obviously all the spice and all that stuff was out of there. It's just the meat and a little bit of potato, which is what's in his normal diet, but in a heavily processed form. So this should be better actually for him. It's not as processed. Enjoy that, buddy. Alright, Guinness enjoyed in its best way. Guys, that was a lot of work. It's 1:15. I think I left the house around 9. It's about an hour and a half-ish to get out here, 10:30. Say 30 minutes of hiking, 11, and then just wood chopping, cooking for the next 2 hours. So it's like better resting a few minutes. It's got a little bit of kind of like crispy layer on the bottom. See, a little chunky on the bottom. There's a little bit of that tomato skin in there. That doesn't belong, but delicious, guys. We've got, let me give you my view. Got my dog right behind you, who loves just hanging out in the snow. Don't you, Loki? You like the snow? He likes the snow. Right down there. Creek. Super beautiful. Right, Loki? Do you see the creek? Backpack hanging over there. So you can see all my stuff spread all over the place. I'll have to spend a little time cleaning up. But I didn't have any breakfast, and somehow purposely didn't have any breakfast so I'd be hungry. This is a lot. Like, I was like, oh, that's not that much. But I'd say half of this is more than a meal. There it is. Colorado version of shepherd's pie with bison instead of lamb or beef. Alright, so there you go, guys. Shepherd's pie, cooked out in the woods. Cut our own wood, started our own fire, cut and cooked everything out here. You know, in the olden days maybe we would have cut that bison Um, there are wild herds of bison in the West, mostly in national parks, and then grown as essentially as livestock, like how I got this meat. But you can see them in different places around here, herds of them. I don't know if those are livestock herds or just protected herds or what. And they'll like try and reintroduce different family members to other pods of bison to reproduce. There's no chance I ate all this. I mean, I guess just thinking about it, how many potatoes did I put in there? But it's like the exact, I mean, it's perfect consistency, even with the rough chopping. I don't think that harms it at all. If it was like a totally creamy, mashed potato on top, I'm not missing that at all. This like kind of rough cut potato on top is fine with me. All right, guys, let me give you a little look around where we are. So this is where we come down from the hill. There's one stream that comes in here from right up the hill. Actually, if you keep hiking that trail, you'll cross that part of the stream, and then it meets up with another one to form a bigger stream that kind of keeps going down. And so this is kind of the little open meadowy area. My giant mess there, and I've come here a couple times in the summertime just to hang out in this little meadow and cook, generally not with a fire because there's usually fire bans and it's just dangerous in the summer to have open fires. But yeah, so what I was going to say is there's a little grove of strawberry bushes here, which is awesome too. So I'll try to come back sometime in the summer and show you some wild strawberries, which is, I don't know if you can see any of the plants. I don't know if these are them or if they're something else. But yeah. So like this area here that's covered with trees, you can see like there's no snow. And then when I was walking to get the wood for the fire, in this clearing area, obviously, right here, ta-da, you're gonna get the deeper snow, which is this tromping mess. You can see it's like a good foot of snow. Yeah, let's go check out the creek over here. Loki's enjoying himself. I'm pretty sure like what I'm walking on right here is the creek too. What is this ground? I don't know, but see my footsteps, and part of this part right here is definitely ice, not super thick ice. But yeah, you can see up the creek here, there's super beautiful here. Babbling Creek. It would be a great place to come here and camp too. It's generally, if I'm backpacking, I'm like going further in. This is less than a mile hike in, so yeah, super easy. But there's tons of sites like this in the national forest areas, and other BLM land in Colorado. Just beautiful, so beautiful in the winter, these pine forests. All right, guys, all packed up. It's about as leave no traces you're gonna get in the snow. Just footprints. You see the fire totally out, covered in snow. Zero chance that's coming back. Otherwise, just footprints. All right, let's hike up this hill and get out of here. All right, steep climb out all the way up there. But now it's all free ride downhill back to the Jeep. So thanks for joining me on another hike and cook adventure. This was the shepherd's pie, or Colorado shepherd pie, bison pie. That doesn't sound good. The recipe, you can look up any shepherd's pie recipe on the internet. I don't need to give you those instructions. That's what I did. Took it to your liking, sub out the meat, do something else. And I hope this inspires you to get out and cook. Or if not to get out, just to cook. Or if not to cook, just to get out. Any one of those three things, including the combo deal. We'll see you on the next one.